Did you know that in ancient Greek mythology, there's a goddess who was born fully grown and wearing armor, not from a mother's womb, but from the forehead of Zeus, the king of the gods? That's right, one of the most powerful and respected figures on Mount Olympus didn't have a typical birth. Her name was Athena, and her story is one of the most fascinating in all of Greek mythology. She was the goddess of wisdom, war, and justice, but she was also much more than that. She stood for smart thinking, clever planning, and strength guided by wisdom. So, who exactly was Athena? Let's dive deep into the legends and uncover her divine power. Athena's origin is truly unique among the Greek gods. Her mother was a titaness named Medusa, known for her wisdom. It was said that Medusa would one day give birth to a child more powerful than Zeus himself. Hearing this prophecy, Zeus made a drastic decision. Instead of letting the child be born, he swallowed Medusa whole while she was pregnant. At first, it seemed like that was the end of it, but Medusa wasn't gone. She continued to live inside Zeus, and her unborn child, Athena, kept growing inside his head. Then came the moment that would shake Mount Olympus. Zeus began to suffer from unbearable headaches. Nothing could ease his pain. Finally, he asked the god Hephaestus, the blacksmith of the gods, to help. Hephaestus took his hammer and struck Zeus's head with all his might. From that crack, Athena leapt out, fully grown and dressed in shining armor, a golden helmet on her head and a spear in her hand. Her eyes glowed with divine wisdom. The gods were stunned. Here stood a goddess, unlike any other, born from the mind of Zeus himself, not just his daughter, but the very spirit of his wisdom. This dramatic birth set Athena apart right from the start. She didn't grow up like other gods or mortals. She was created in a moment of divine force and power, already strong, wise, and ready to take her place among the Olympians. From that moment on, she became one of the most honored deities in Greek mythology, a goddess of balance, protection, and intelligence. But Athena wasn't a goddess of war like ours, her half-brother. While ours represented the wild, bloody, and chaotic side of battle, Athena stood for the strategic side, the clever moves, the smart plans, the victories won through thinking. Not just fighting, she was a goddess of strategy, the kind of war where one outsmarts the enemy instead of overpowering them. That's why many Greek warriors and generals would pray to her before going into battle. They believed that with Athena on their side, they had the wisdom to win. Even beyond the battlefield, Athena was seen as a protector. She looked over cities, especially the great city of Athens, which was named in her honor. There's a beautiful myth about how Athens got its name. The gods Athena and Poseidon both wanted to be the city's patron. To decide who would win the honor, they each gave the city a gift. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident and created a spring of water, but it was salty and not very useful. Athena, on the other hand, planted the first olive tree, a symbol of peace and prosperity. The people chose Athena's gift, and the city took her name. That olive tree became a source of food, oil, and wood, a gift that kept on giving. But Athena's wisdom wasn't just about war and city planning. She was also the goddess of crafts, weaving, and skillful work. She represented the human power to create, to build, and to solve problems through clever thinking. In this way, she wasn't just a goddess for warriors. She was also loved by artists, builders, and even teachers. Her spirit was present in every clever invention and every masterpiece woven by hand. One of the most famous stories involving Athena shows both her skill and her firm sense of justice. It's the tale of Arachne, a mortal woman who was proud of her weaving abilities. In fact, she was so proud that she said she could weave better than the goddess Athena herself. When Athena heard this, she decided to visit Arachne, but in disguise, she gave Arachne a chance to take back her words. But Arachne refused, so Athena challenged her to a weaving contest. The two worked side by side, and Arachne's tapestry was flawless, but it showed the gods in a very negative light. Though the work was beautiful, it was disrespectful. Athena was furious. She tore the tapestry apart and turned Arachne into a spider, cursed to weave forever. This myth shows that Athena valued skill, but also respect and humility. Athena was often involved in the lives of heroes. She didn't just watch from afar. She stepped in, gave advice, and helped guide mortals toward success. One of her favorite heroes was Odysseus, the clever king of Ithaca, in Homer's Odyssey. Athena helps him through every twist and turn of his long journey home from the Trojan War. She disguises him, convinces gods to help him, and gives him the wisdom he needs to survive. Odysseus's cleverness and calm mind were seen as a reflection of Athena's own gifts. She also helped the hero Perseus defeat the monstrous Medusa. With her help, he received a shining shield, one polished like a mirror. Perseus used that shield to look at Medusa's reflection, instead of staring directly at her, which would have turned him to stone. With Athena's wisdom, he avoided danger and completed his mission. Again and again, Athena helped those who used intelligence over impulse, rewarding those who respected her and punished those who showed arrogance. Unlike many of the Greek gods who were ruled by emotion or ego, Athena was known for her calm and thoughtful nature. She rarely acted out of anger. Instead, she judged carefully, thought deeply, and acted with fairness. This made her one of the most respected deities on Mount Olympus. She was often asked to mediate conflicts and give wise judgment. In some myths, she even helped create systems of justice like courts and laws. And while many goddesses in Greek mythology were connected to love or marriage, Athena was different. She was known as a virgin goddess, not because she lacked love, but because she stood for independence, strength, and focus. She didn't need a partner to define her. Her energy was complete on its own. This made her a symbol of self-reliance and powerful purpose. Even though Athena was powerful and wise, she wasn't without her flaws. Like many gods in Greek mythology, she could be strict and proud. If someone crossed her, especially by showing arrogance or disrespect, they usually paid the price. But unlike other gods who acted out of jealousy or anger, Athena's punishments often taught important lessons about pride, respect, or knowing one's limits. She stood as a reminder that wisdom should always be guided by humility. Athena also played a huge part in the Trojan War, one of the most famous stories in Greek myth. She supported the Greek army and often helped key warriors like Odysseus and Achilles. She even inspired the idea of the Trojan horse, the clever, wooden structure that allowed the Greeks to sneak into the city of Troy and win the war. This brilliant plan was exactly the kind of solution Athena would support, not brute force, but strategic thinking. Her image was seen all over ancient Greece. The Grand Parthenon, a beautiful temple that still stands today in Athens, was built in her honor. Inside, a giant statue of Athena stood, covered in gold and ivory. She held a shield and a spear, ready to protect the city. People came from all over to worship her, ask for her wisdom, or offer gifts to earn her favor. Even today, Athena remains a strong symbol of what it means to use your mind, protect others, and fight only when it's truly needed. She reminds us that strength doesn't always come from muscles or weapons. Sometimes it comes from thinking ahead, choosing peace, or doing the right thing even when it's hard. That's real power. So, if you're ever facing a challenge, making a big decision, or trying to stay calm in a storm, think of Athena. Let her story inspire you to lead with your head and heart. And if this legendary goddess sparked your curiosity, make sure to like this video, drop a comment below, and subscribe for more mythological tales that still shape our world today.